Okay, my name is Geoffrey Chanza, candidate number 9034, and this is my testing section for my game creatures. Here we can see the login screen. I can enter a username and I can enter a password. I am a new user at this point in time, so I do not have those credentials. So I will press the sign up button. Pressing the sign up button has now brought up the sign up canvas. Here I can enter my email, a username, a password, and confirm this password. To start with, I will enter an email that's in an invalid format. I'll make a username and I will create a valid password for the sake of testing. Now, if I press the sign up button, I've been given an invalid email error code. This is because my email is not in the correct structure. Now, I will make my email contain an @ symbol, but I won't give it the correct domain. So I'm not going to give it a .com or .co or anything. Still an invalid email. Now I will enter a valid email. And now I will enter an invalid password that doesn't meet the requirements necessary to be deemed a valid password. I've been given an error message for my password. Now I will enter a validly structured password. However, I will not enter the same confirmed password. Here I've been given a message that the passwords must match. Now I will enter the passwords that is matching. Now I've successfully signed up and created an account. Now, let's say theoretically another new user came along and used these exact same details to sign up and create their own account. Let's say they use the same email, for example, but they change the username. This email is already in use. Now, let's say that they change the email, but they're using the same username. This username has been taken. Now, let's say they try to use it using the exact same credentials. This email is already in use, and this username has been taken. Now, I'll go back and I will log in. The same username, but the wrong password. These are invalid credentials. As you can see in the bottom left, just here, the password is different to the one that I created before. Now I will enter the correct password. I will enter in the wrong username. Again, invalid credentials. And I've not been allowed to log in. As you can see here, username is different, but the password is the same. I mean, is correct. Now I'll enter in the correct password and the correct username. I've been welcomed into the game. This is the main game. If I press A like I did there, I'll go to the left. If I press D, I'll go to the right. If I press A, I will go up. If I press S, I will go down. If I press W and A at the same time, I go northeast, southwest, northwest. Yeah. If I go W and D at the same time, I go northeast. If I go A and S at the same time, I go southwest. And then if I press S and D at the same time, I go southeast. A directional movement. The same is true for arrow keys. Up arrow key, down arrow key, left arrow key, right arrow key. The northwest arrow key, northeast arrow keys, southeast arrow keys, southwest arrow keys. Now, the next thing that I will do is test the sorting layers for my buildings. Right now, the player is rendered above the ground layer, which is just the floor that we're walking on. There are multiple layers that I detailed in my design section, and all of these are in relation to the player. There's a walk in front layer just in front of both of these buildings, and just above them, in the middle of the buildings, there's a collision layer. If I walk into the building, as you can see, the player renders slightly above the bottom of the building, but collides with the middle of the building. This is the same for this. This can be further tested. The player is currently next to both buildings, and they walk into them. However, if they go up and they're now behind the buildings, they go around the back of the buildings. Now, the next thing that we will do is test the creature switching mechanic. When I press Aquafina, the creature's description of Aquafina has changed. The same is true with Rocky, and Skyrith, and Blitz, and Gearmite, and Toxin, and Serchic, and Embruff. Now, we'll go with Embruff for now. We haven't tested the long grass layer, which is these dark green patches. If I walk into these dark green patches, a battle should be initiated at a random point in time. We will now test this out. Okay, so here we have the battle canvas. There's a game state which tells you the state of the game, and it tells you any type of advantages that are in play currently. This says stand firm, you're on the back foot. Being on the back foot is a way to signal that you're being defensive, and that suggests that you don't have the first turn. Also, you can see that you don't have the first turn because your health, the player's health, is currently not at its max health, meaning the opponent has attacked you first. In at this state right now, it is the player's turn. You can see this because the fight button is interactable. This is shown by the fact that it's red. If I press the fight button, then it makes the tackle button and the move button interactable. If I press tackle, I deal a certain amount of damage to the opponent, and the opponent has dealt a certain amount of damage to me, as you can see by our health reducing. This will continue up until one of us reaches zero health. Once one of us reaches zero health, then the battle should close down. We should receive XP to contribute towards our leveling up. So if I just play out this game, so as you saw there, there was a win message, and as you can see below, well, it's gone now, there was a prompt to save the game. This will happen for winning and for losing. So now we will test this out in a losing situation. Okay, so we've encountered Blitz. Blitz is an exception character, because you're supposed to lose to him because he's quite a strong character. So we will intentionally lose this game. We You lost, and we are prompted to save. Now, one thing that should be noted: when I came out of the battle, I was given an amount of time to leave the premises of the battle. If I go into another battle, I'll detail this further. Here we have another testing of the battle, and yeah, just gonna get on with this, do this. Okay, as you can see, I'm given time to leave and do what I want to do. Now, press Z, and I've saved like I was prompted to. So in this test, we're going to be testing the saving and loading functions and also the events where both of the special creatures are enabled. So first I'm going to log in with the same login that I used last time. Now, when I go into a battle, the creature should be the same creature that I used in my previous test, which was an Emperor at level 2. As we can see here, the Emperor is level 2. Furthermore, the computer's creature's level scales in relation to my level. Here we have the same type advantage, and I'm going to attack first. Okay, I've been prompted to save. Now I'm going to save my game. One thing about the saving game process is that your save file gets saved into a text file. And in that text file, we should see Embroth at level 2, like so. Now, if I level up Embroth once more, I just continue to go through battles until he levels up. As you can see now, Embroth is level 3. Also, as you can see, his health has increased since the last time he leveled up. This also happened when he went from level 1 to level 2 as well. This shows that the creature's stats increase in respect to their level. Now, if I press Z, we've now saved the game once more. If I check the save file, then the level should have gone up to 3 instead of being at 2, like so. This proves the functionality of the save file. Now we will test our special creatures. I guess for this one we'll go with gold. I'm being asked to confirm my choice here. The choice between the sun and the moon. Will you choose the sun? Press this and I chose the light. Now my creature should be Chronomist. As you can see here, my creature is Chronomist. I'm gonna fight and I've won the game. Cool. I'll save the game again, follow the prompt. And as you can see in the top right, if you didn't notice it before, the button to pick whatever was on the right side, because there was a black button on the right side, is now gone. For the remainder of this playthrough, I won't be able to select that button. Now, I'm going to end this playthrough and I'm going to create another playthrough. So in this test, we are going to be testing what occurs when a new user loads into the game without any saved data. So here I'm going to create a new user and confirm the password. Now I'm going to log in using this new user who does not have any saved data. Oops. There we go. So this user does not have any saved data. I haven't pressed any buttons to change the creature and give them any current data. So let's go into a battle and see what happens. As you can see, the player is given a default creature called Aquafina and their level is set to 1. So if I just operate this fight normally, as I would any other, now I've been prompted to save, so I'll save my game. Now we will test what happens when you press the right option instead of the left option when picking special creatures. In the right, you can see I have this black button here. If I press it once, and then if I press it again, here we go. Now, if I press the button a third time, the description of the creature comes up. Now that I have this creature active, I can go into battle using him, like so, and I will save my game. Now, I will exit the game, and I'll restart a new session. Because I've used a special creature during this playthrough, on my second playthrough, the creature should have changed. Now, if we go into a battle, seeing that I've not changed anything, the creature should not be Chronomedius. It should be a different creature. There we go. There's a different creature in place for Chronomedius because you don't want the player to be able to use both creatures, both special creatures in one playthrough. It's either one or the other. The game's been saved. So now we will try the same with Chronomist. I end the game. I've saved the game. I will end the game. Now I'll start a new playthrough. As we go into a battle, there is a different creature. This creature is Blitz. As you can see, the player cannot go into the game with save creature if they've previously saved the game with a saved creature.